So, really quick, I wanted to kind of do a video blog about my background because a lot of people don't know that I'm an international student here and I'm not an American citizen. So, for starters, this is my very first passport, Filipino passport. I was born in General Santos City in the Philippines. Then I moved to Bombay when I was 3. And this is me when I was 3. The little boy. It says I'm 77 centimeters. How big is that? That's so small. How big is that? That's what she said. Wow. Sorry. And yeah, so when I was 3, we started moving around. I was the youngest, so once my mom popped me out, we were on the move. My dad was an international sales director for Coca-Cola, so he was assigned to, are you ready for this? Nigeria, Bombay, New Delhi, Thailand, back to Nigeria, England, then Michigan. So that's where I've been. And I travel a lot. These are my passports. And yeah, these are 3 passports in one, and then there's 2 there. And then this thing that is my student visa that I have to carry around. Bam! This is what keeps me in the country, everyone. Don't steal it. Yeah, so I am an international student here at Western Michigan University. So we moved around a lot. Like my first real school was the American Embassy School of New Delhi. It was like I say my first real school because that was an actual campus and there was a lot more people than just 20 or 30. Like 20 or 30 is exaggerating. Like our classes growing up until I was like maybe 10. Or no, until I was like 8 or so. I didn't really have a real school. It was like really private international schools, and they were usually held like in a old mansion or something, because like I said, the international population was very limited and small in Nigeria and Bombay. But New Delhi was pretty international, and it's really blossomed now. Like, it's beautiful. You should look it up, and I will post a link down there. That's how people do it, right? Yeah. To the school website. And my second favorite school was International School of International School, I can't talk, of Bangkok, Thailand. Also known as ISB. That is like where I had my fondest memories, and I'll also post a link down here so you can check it out in case you want to go to school there. I highly recommend it. Yeah, and then my number 1 favorite school was the American Community School of Cobham, England. That's where I went to boarding school before I decided to take a journey to Michigan and stay with my aunt instead of moving back to the Philippines with my family. Or sorry, with my parents. I decided to come here because I just wanted to see what America was like. So that's how I wound up here. I know. And I just want to say, coming from an international student coming here, of all the places that I've lived, of all of them, the most cultural... Hold on, let me just gather my thoughts so I can speak. I experienced the most culture shock from America. It was... Yeah. No. It was... I couldn't handle it at first. Americans are crazy. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I pretty much am one now because I've been here the longest for like 6 years. But it was kind of crazy because, yeah, like the littlest things you don't notice it, and I don't expect you to because it's your culture. But the littlest things really would catch me off guard, like the fact that you have to tip here. You have to tip like 25%. Tip tip everywhere else is like complimentary. It's like you're lucky if you get a tip. That's great, you know. But here, people freak out if you don't tip. They freak, which is fine. It's just a different culture. But I had to get used to that. Also, another thing that caught me off guard was anytime I would shop, I like to be left alone when I shop. Like, until I came to America, I kept, like, I just kept getting asked questions. Like, why? They would come up to me and they'd be like, is everything okay? Are you finding everything okay? And I'd be like, yeah. Why? Is there something wrong? Oh, and they do that with your food, too. So you're eating, blah, blah, blah. I remember my Sweet 16, I was at Texas Roadhouse, and I was just chowing down on my steak, and it was really good. And they just kept coming up, is everything okay? Is everything tasting fine? And I just was like, yeah, why wouldn't it be? Is there something wrong with my food? I just kept thinking that. People aren't used to that when you come here. I know I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't used to the constant talking. Generally people leave you alone other places. Like, they don't really kiss up to you like that. Also, all the rules, I feel like in a way, America is very laid back, but also you guys have a lot of rules, like driving. The driving here. In the Philippines, you don't see stoplights or anything too structured. Pretty much you make your own rules, and if you get in someone's way, you better move, because people will, it's a really scary world out there when you drive in the Philippines. There's no rules. You can run through red lights, whatever. Here, it's such a huge deal. Such a huge deal. Yeah, or if you blow through a stop sign, if you decide to roll through a stop sign, especially when you know nobody's there, people get all freaked out. They're like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that. It's not that big of a deal, no one saw you. But yeah, I'm just not used to, I wasn't used to that, but now I am used to it. And then the drinking age here, 21. First of all, why is it 21? It's such a random number. I don't think the number 21 would have any real significance if it wasn't the legal drinking age in America. Don't you think? Like, Canada, 19. England, 18. Philippines, like 12. You're drinking coconut wine with your parents, like, as soon as you get popped out. It's just natural. But those are my thoughts on cultural differences and my culture shock coming here. Last thing I remember is when I went to high school here, no one really dressed up for school. In England, people dressed up. Like, you would see, it looked like you walked off the cover of a freaking magazine. Girls would be dressed up and, yeah, strutting their stuff to school. But here, it's very, very laid back, which is not a bad thing. It's just something I had to get used to. Anyway, yeah. Oh, yeah. I could add so much more to this, and I will in the future. But for now, I have to go be the creative director of this video shoot. So, bye!